One, two, three. Hi guys! So ngayon, nandito tayo sa Taal.
Hello everyone! In today's video, we'll conduct a historical documentation of a town of Taal, which we're heading and explain its historical basis. We'll additionally show you some of the notable landmarks, historical foods and attractions to visit, some of which are unique to Taal. The Basilica of St. Martin of Tours is known as the largest Catholic church in Southeast Asia. The 96-meter-high and 45-meter-long church stands in the very heart of Taal Town, Batangas. It is also better known as the Taal Basilica and has become a destination for devotees and tourists who visit us. This church was last renovated in 1856 under the care of Marcus Anton and the supervision of architect Luciano Oliver. The Taal Basilica Church is not only considered a heritage of our past for the people of Batangas, but it is also a heritage of our country. This is not an ordinary house of worship. This is the cultural treasure. This is a masterpiece that should be preserved. This is a living testament to how good Filipino builders are. The beauty of the Taal Basilica is truly mesmerizing, and it is also amazing how strong its structure and how it has witnessed and passed through the events that have become part of our history. So, it cannot be denied that it is our part of identity as a Batangueños, and it is deserves to be valued. And while we were walking, we passed by the police station where we had our first interview, which is our first respondent.
Ano pong masasabi niyo bilang isang alagad ng batas sa inyong mga naging karanasan dito sa bayan ng Taal?
Dito, ang masasabi ko lang, mababait ang mga tao. Makipulis, magagalang. Napakatahimik ng bayan dito. Walang mga krimen na nangyayari. Kumbaga, ang mga tao ay siguro dahil mga religion. Hindi lang. Masunurin ang mga tao dito. Sinusunod nila yung mga ordinansa, kaya walang mga lumalabas. Yun lang.
Our second destination is the Taal Public Market. The town's marketplace or palengke is where you can buy the local products like delicacies and Burdang Taal items, as well as the various Barong Tagalog for men and gowns for women, as well as the numerous different souvenirs and types of knives known as balisong. And when we first entered the Taal Market, the first thing we noticed was the shop selling Barong Tagalog and women's gowns, which the Taal people are proud of. And after we saw the beautiful clothes, we noticed the shop selling empanadas, which are one of the most delicious foods in the Taal Market. and one of the reasons why so many tourists come here, because there are many other famous foods in Taal, such as tapa, longganisa, kapeng barako, and pancha, and many people like it.
Third destination is Leon Apacible's ancestral house. Leon Apacible was born on October 25, 1861, and a known illustrados and propagandist, as well as his well-known brother Galicano Apacible. The Leon Apacible historical landmark depicts the lives and activities of two brothers, as well as their roles in the War for Philippine Independence in the latter quarter of the 19th century, which was shown from the TV monitor before we roam around the place. Leon Apacible was a lawyer who joined the revolution as General Miguel Malvar's right-hand man. He returned to Batangas due to kasunduang Biak na Bato, and this is where he commanded the revolutionaries when they reclaimed Batangas from Spain. He was one of the signatories of the first Philippine Constitution when he was transferred to Bulacan to represent Lepanto at the Malolos Congress, where he banished for 5 years. Lepanto is now recognized as Bontoc Mount Province. On the other side, Galicano Apacible was a medical professional. He, along with Jose Rizal, Marcelo H. del Pilar, Graciano Lopez Jaena, and others fought for changes within Spain. To pursue his medical studies there, he boarded ship for Barcelona. He was a founding member of La Solidaridad, a Filipino journal in Spain, and served as its first president. And that was the main reason why their residence was the meeting place of the resistance. On the first floor of the museum, Leon Apacible's monument was exhibited along with some old documents handwritten. Proceeding to the second floor, this is where we can see the antique furnitures, starting with the living room, bedrooms, and kitchen. Aside from that, hair ornaments, probably from his wife Matilde Martinez, was also displayed. Going down, there was a room where you can smell history. It is where the documents and books were stored. We also noticed that famous novels of Jose Rizal, the Noli Me Tangere, and El Filibusterismo were displayed.
At the house where the mother of the Philippine flag, Marcela Marino de Agoncillo, was born, the house was built by the grandfather of Marcela, Don Andres Marino, in the 1780s. The house was inherited by Marcela Marino at the death of her grandfather, the first Filipino diplomat, Felipe Agoncillo. Upon entering the house, we were greeted nicely by the guard, and we were presented with their own video documentary about Marcela Marino de Agoncillo. After the documentary, we were guided by the docent, and the first thing we saw was the statue of Marcela famously sewing the Philippine flag. We were introduced to different galleries around the house. At the first gallery, the Marina Agoncillo home, we saw the living room and the bedroom that contained old furniture and paintings of all the owners of the house. At the second gallery, the docent showed us the life of Marcela Marino de Agoncillo, including being the Crystal Rose, being the wife of a nationalist, and her life in Hong Kong, and her being an honorable and kind mother. It also has puzzles to entertain guests and visitors. In the third gallery, it showed the memories of the Agoncillo family, including their life in Hong Kong and the names of her family members. The fourth gallery showed us the life of the first Filipino diplomat, Felipe Agoncillo, and the files and documents made during his life. The fifth and sixth galleries showed the symbol of our nation and the national flag of the Philippines. There, we were presented by another video about the Philippine flag and what every symbol represents. We were also introduced to the first Philippine flag until the fifth and latest flag. The last gallery showed the Philippine sovereignty, in which include original photos and clips during the war.
Kadalasan din po tinatanong ng iba sa inyo.
Ay, yung ilang taon yung bahay. Paano nami-maintain namin yan?
Sino nga po pala nag-donate ng pera dito?
Ang aming budget ay Sa GBM ang galing sa national budget management.
Kailan mo taon na po?
Ay, itong bahay, 242 years dahil 70-80 ito pinatay mo na lolo niya na si Lolo Andres Marino.
O may nalagdag po niyo?
Dito ay nagkaroon lang siya ng, pero original talaga yung itsura ng bahay. Ganun pa rin. Nagkaroon lang siya ng minor repair.
Para po, isa dyan po kasama sa bahay.
Kasama to, itong bodega kasi lagayan nila ng mga honey harvest ng
Pato na po ito dati, no?
Ano na?
Ano niyo po na-recover yung bumili?
Meron lang sa pagbindol. Siyempre, nagkaroon din tayo ng mga damages. Connection ng mga minor lang. Pero yan iaayos pa kasi nga nagkaroon tayo ng pandemic. Iaayos yan sa 2020 hanggang March. First quarter. Ano ba? Structural o historical?
Yung mga tawad po, di ka po may nakasulot ng
95. Yun doon. Ayun naman, ginawa siya ni Lorenzo Paido noong 1995 to represent the panlog na yung mga tawad, sino Marcelo. So, ay reenactment ng ating Phil-American War, no? Pero yung ibang pictures dyan ay mga original, no? Na ang mga kopya nito nasa National Library, National Library. Natin makikita mo sila si ano kayo sa tao yung hindi kayo kasi government na papasawa sa amin kaya kailangan yung servisyo ganda. Okay?
Our fifth destination is the San Lorenzo Ruiz Steps, also known as Hagdan are 125 granite steps that were built outside in Taal, Batangas, Philippines in 1850 to connect the town center, the poblacion at the end of Calle Vicente Ilustre, with the shrine of Our Lady of Kaysasay and the well of Santa Lucia. From one of these steps, one may reach the sacred well of Santa Lucia, which is believed to be miraculous. There are no obvious signs going to the well, so you might need to ask a local. Not to worry, because on both sides of the steps are residential areas, and somewhere here lies a passageway to the sacred site. Today, the site is marked by a huge ark made of coral stone, crowned with a bas-relief of the Lady. The ark stands on top of the 11 feet deep wells. At its mouth, devotees and tourists light candles, while the sites remain blanketed with thick vegetation and the spring continues to produce water. One has to pass through a residential area to get here from Our Lady of Kaysasay Shrine. An inconspicuously narrow walkway on the side of the San Lorenzo Ruiz steps leads to the site. If you don't know your way around, it is very unlikely that you will find it, unless you ask a local, and its connection to the historic Santa Lucia well, which is claimed to perform miracles. When we visited, the area was cluttered, and it was obvious that repairs were still being made. The National Museum of the Philippines, in collaboration with the Archdiocese of Lipa, will temporarily fence and close the Balon de Santa Lucia for the protection of the structure as well as the safety of devotees and visitors during the entire period of its study and renovation. May our fervent faith not be affected by the closure and prohibition to approaching and get water from the well. There were also several rosaries and flowers left by tourists and devotees.
Our sixth destination is Taal Volcano. Even at its most devastated state, Taal Volcano remains as one of the most remarkable and eye-catching attractions of nature. It has become a must-visit destination for every traveler across the world because of its picturesque features like no other. You can see the volcano from one of the Philippines' most visited destinations, Tagaytay. The city has a postcard perfect view of the volcano that everyone loves. There are many hotels and restaurants that offer the best view of it while indulging in sumptuous meals. But what lies beyond Taal Volcano's beauty and little mouth is a deadly nature that could take thousands of lives. Taal is the country's second most active volcano and among the world's deadliest. This volcano is truly a beauty but is also deadly. Before traveling, it's important that you know the Taal Volcano facts first so you won't arrive there empty-handed. The volcano island, where many of the past eruptions occurred, lies in the middle of Taal Lake. Don't be fooled with its size though. While this volcano is one of the smallest in the world, it's also among the most dangerous ones.
Our seventh destination is Pailos, Taal. The town of Taal in Batangas shone again when thousands of lights were lit in the town center. The lighting features a beautiful Christmas tree. The lighting in Taal is more meaningful because it coincides with the start of celebration for the 450th anniversary of the founding of town Taal. According to Taal Mayor Pong Mercado, with the severity of what our country has gone through the pandemic, many people have lost hope. So the lighting in Taal will serve as a light for continuous recovery and for getting even we lean on problems. I hope this light will be the way for you to be happy, unite, and be close to each other. I hope this will be the key so that those who are in conflict can greet each other and those who love each other will be together more, said Mayor Mercado. Lighting in Taal are also expected to attract tourists to Taal, which is a tourist destination. The lighting in Taal started in 2017 but was stopped last year due to the pandemic. Most of the lights that were used were the ones that were saved almost 3 months after the residents were allowed to return to Taal when the Taal volcano erupted on January 12, 2020. Despite the threat of the pandemic and the ongoing threat of the volcano, the eruption cannot be stopped of lights that will serve as lights on the way to resurrection. The Taal lighting was also dedicated to those who sacrificed their lives during this pandemic so that many could continue their lives.
Beautiful life. I look at you and I see million stars. I am so glad you came and stole my heart. Oh, for the better or for good, oh, for the better or for you. Ooh.
You light up